What's up? What's up? So yeah, we know LeBron James is gonna come back for year 23 to match his number. Yeah. We know he won't go away. We can't get rid of him. He won't go away because he feels that he will be forgotten if he goes away. So much for ownership because he really wants to keep on playing. I guess he thinks if he plays a little bit longer, that'll make Bronny's being a player on the roster legit. Maybe he's gonna try to play to get the other son on the team. Maybe if they last long enough to get the grandkids on the team. This dude is so tiring. He just evaporates all the life out of everything that you can imagine. And let me throw you in some few other caveats at work. He's thinking about recruiting Kevin Durant. That's a crazy rumor going. Giannis is the ongoing thing. Anybody that halfway looks like they disgruntled, looking at the Celtics, anybody won't come along because he's desperate. His flock of seagulls who just think he's so great, which he's not. He's not. Because he's one of the biggest fraudulent players there is. He gonna cry for all the help he get. He got through trading away a top 75 player for another guy who's a top 3 player from Anthony Davis to Luka Doncic and still crying about help. Now I see that LA Times beat writer Bill Plaschke saying to help him out, you got to trade Austin Reeves. Oh, wasn't this guy supposed to be the big 3 answer? Wasn't he? What happened to him against Minnesota? He looked like a 6 man that was more close to 6 to the 9. Like he should have been sitting 2, 3 spots ahead of where Bronny James is taking up space. That's why Austin Reeves, because he didn't do nothing against the Timberwolves. His 15 points a game, but that last game he was flat. I hope that people see the totality, the ridiculousness of LeBron James, who's stat padding. And I agree with Rob Parker, and I don't usually agree with Rob Parker, but I agree with him. The longer LeBron James plays, the worse it looks because he's not in my top 7 or 8 players. He's behind Steph Curry barely at number 10, and he's starting to fall off. The reason being, you're not competing for no championships. All you're doing is stat padding, fake injuries, and crying about you don't have no help, and you're trying to bring people in. And then you got some of these old raggedy sausage head turkeys up here talking about that JJ ridiculous reminds them of Pat Riley. That he's so intense. Yeah, you so intense that you burn your starting 5 for a whole fourth quarter without no blow. You so intense that you won't even play your bench when you know you don't really have a center because you got rid of a center, and then you tried to trade your man Connect. That trade fell through, and then you had nothing. And you had a fraudulent 50-win team. And I gotta still hear people feeling sorry that they want LeBron to get the 5th ring by any means. Somehow that's gonna move him. It's not gonna do nothing for him. It's not. Because he won't be the first option. And he's not really the second option. He's the third at this level in this state. But it's been the case the last couple of years. They just never got a real second option. And they didn't want to do nothing for Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis didn't sell no jerseys and he was always wearing street clothes. So they figured, hey, we're going to get rid of him. They struggle with Luka Doncic, but Luka Doncic likes eating them cheeseburgers too much. So, fat boy don't won't get on the treadmill, you're going to have problems. And who you going to attract? Who's going to sit there and toe the line and kiss up to a situation that is not really winnable? Let me tell you why. And why LeBron James is overrated too. For all them triple doubles and he can do all this position stuff, he's not making the teammates better. Ain't it something how Rui Hachimura was playing pretty good in that series against Minnesota and it didn't mean nothing? Luke was doing his numbers when he wasn't tummy aching. It didn't do nothing. Even Austin Reeves with that token 15 points. They couldn't crack 100. Because you got to have a point guard, you got to have a center, and you got to have some bench dogs. And they got none of that. So now they think, okay, we can go out here and buy some. What are you going to buy? And who is going to get behind a 40-plus-year-old and try to save fate and then work with Luka Doncic too? It makes no sense. They're not a good team. It's because the West is watered down, the NBA is watered down, they get token. When you think about a 50-win team that's 3rd seed in the West and got handed like that in the first round. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't even think they averaged 100 points for the series. Because I know the last game at home, they got held to 95. The first game, they had about 2 or 3 games. They're not a good team. And who wants the parts that they got? Who's actually going to make a trade to help them out? But yeah, he's coming back because he gonna stat pad. That's all he do. Because he's scared that between having to be testifying them Diddy parties and also the fact that he's scared that people gonna forget his legacy. That's what he's scared of. It ain't about winning no chips. He ain't winning nothing. The ridiculous nature of these people that are still trying to say that he's the second best player or the best player ought to be they ought to be embarrassed of themselves. This whole fraudulent thing about him is tiring. Because the bottom line is he ran out of time, and most of the time he looked like he kind of flat. Fake an injury, fake something, you know. You ain't winning. Your era is over. And you see Steph Curry don't come back in this series, Golden State's gonna be cooked. Jimmy Butler getting old. I'm telling you right now, I'm hoping. I don't care if it's Denver, Boston, OKC, Minnesota, Cleveland, the Knicks. Anybody that can go to the finals and it's part of the new era, good. And I say this as someone who holds Steph Curry in high regard. You know, like LeBron gets his due, Durant, Harden, what have you, right? The old guard, it's Kawhi Leonard. It's over. It's over. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the cats playing today are as good as those cats, but it's time for the new era to take note. Cats done had that day. LeBron, you need to go ahead and pack it up. You didn't had your day. You didn't had your day. You had more than enough time, and anything, the tokenism, we see the wheels are coming off. But you won't go away because you got to answer a lot of questions. And you scared people going to forget who you are. That's what you're scared of. But it's just embarrassing. We don't want to see this turkey no more. It's embarrassing. But Adam Silver keep pushing the agenda, the ESPN. All these people are going to keep pushing the agenda because this is what they're doing. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like it. The membership, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm all one time. Peace.